The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of Digi-all. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to Digi-all Tech News. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. OpenAI has acquired personal finance startup Hiro, bringing a small but highly specialized planning team into its orbit. Uber and Nuro are now testing premium robotaxi rides with employees in San Francisco using autonomous Lucid Gravity SUVs. Stanford's latest AI index suggests the people building AI and the people living with it are increasingly not seeing the future the same way. AWS is leaning into AI governance with a new agent registry preview and more granular bedrock cost tracking. Chinese AI startup StepFund is reportedly restructuring its corporate setup to clear a path toward a Hong Kong IPO. OpenAI confirmed to TechCrunch that it bought Hiro Finance, a startup founded by Ethan Block that focused on AI-powered personal finance planning. Hiro says it will shut down on April 20th and delete user data on May 13th, and Block says the team is joining OpenAI. What stands out to me is not just the acquisition itself, but the kind of problem Hiro was working on: structured money decisions, where people expect reliable math, and very little hand-waving. That makes this feel less like a flashy consumer play and more like OpenAI buying domain-specific product judgment in a category where trust matters a lot. Uber and Nuro have started letting select employees in San Francisco request rides in Lucid Gravity SUVs equipped with Nuro's autonomous driving system. According to TechCrunch, the vehicles are running in autonomous mode, but a human safety operator is still behind the wheel, which tells you this is a serious test phase rather than a public rollout victory lap. The partnership is already deep, with Uber having invested heavily in both Lucid and Nuro and committed to buying at least 20,000 Gravity SUVs over 6 years. The bigger signal is operational. These companies are now testing not only the self-driving stack, but the whole rider experience in a real city. TechCrunch's read on Stanford's 2026 AI Index lands on a point the industry still seems uncomfortable with. Experts and the public are not processing this moment in the same way. Only 10% of Americans surveyed by Pew said they were more excited than concerned about AI in daily life, while 56% of AI experts said AI would have a positive effect on the United States over the next 20 years. The gap also shows up around jobs, medical care, and trust in regulation. To me, that makes this report less about vibes and more about legitimacy, because adoption at scale depends on whether people think the benefits and risks are being distributed fairly. AWS used its weekly roundup to highlight 2 practical updates for companies building with AI at scale. Bedrock customers can now allocate model spending by IAM user and role, which should make it much easier to see which teams are actually driving inference costs. AWS also launched Agent Registry in preview through Bedrock Agent Core, giving organizations a private catalog for agents, tools, skills, MCP servers, and other reusable components, along with search, approvals, and audit trails. This is not the glamorous side of AI, but it is the side that starts to matter once experiments turn into real internal platforms. Reuters, via an open WTAQ syndication page, reports that Chinese AI startup StepFund is unwinding its offshore structure as it prepares for a possible Hong Kong IPO. The report says the company, founded by former Microsoft Vice President Zhang Daxin, is heavily backed by state-linked capital, as well as Tencent and Qiming, and that Beijing's tighter scrutiny of red chip structures is shaping the move. StepFund did not comment, so there is still uncertainty around timing and final structure, but the story is revealing anyway. It shows how AI competition is not only about models and products, but also about who can navigate the policy and financing rules around growth. Today's lineup has a common thread: AI is moving out of the abstract and into systems people actually have to trust, pay for, ride in, regulate, and finance. We'll keep watching where that pressure changes the products and where it changes the industry itself. Thank you for staying informed with Digi-all Tech News. I'm Kylie Brooks, and we'll be back with more updates as they develop.